Boys, we're here, week 6 NFL season. I'm going to be talking to you guys about some coaches that I think are in the hot seat on the chopping block. If you guys do enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Peace. It is currently Sunday afternoon, 1:56 Pacific Standard Time, and I've seen enough week 6 games to say that these coaches should probably be fired. I have 3 coaches in mind. They have already played their games today. All of them lost. The first one for me is Aaron Glenn of the New York Jets. I understand that he's a new coach. He's an older coach. Kind of coming into a very shitty situation in terms of the organization. They have a new quarterback. They have pretty much every single person within that building is new because they basically fired everybody. They cleared house last year. But I think Aaron Glenn has really started to lose the locker room. And I don't know if that's a term in terms of like the NFL, because it is in football and soccer. Like once a coach starts to lose their locker room, it kind of starts to become this, all right, bro, we kind of need to move on from you just because the players don't believe in what you're preaching. And as you can tell right here, the biggest sign for me is always the players. This was at the end of the first half. The Jets were at like the 45-yard line, 50-yard line, and they were 4th and 1, and they had an opportunity to get a playoff to try to go score some points. They didn't take a timeout. They didn't try to get up to the line. They didn't try to do anything. Garrett Wilson was super pissed. He was super mad about it. And ultimately, man, it just goes to show that this picture right here should never happen between a player and a coach, specifically from the player side. Players should not get in the face of you like that as a grown man, right? Just because that's a respecting, especially because he's a coach as well, right? He's your coach. You're supposed to, kind of, I don't want to say be more respectful, but understand the pressure he's under and stuff like that. But like I said here, this whole picture shows me that Garrett Wilson is like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, do I need to coach the team? Because you don't know what you're doing. And that's the message it kind of gives out to me. But ultimately speaking, the Jets are a very bad organization. A lot of people are putting the blame on Justin Fields, despite Justin Fields getting sacked 9 times, throwing for negative 10 passing yards. He threw for like 45 yards on 17 pass attempts, 9 completions, a net negative of 10 yards. But like I said, he was sacked 9 times today. He completed 9 passes. I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do when you get sacked that many times. I don't understand the whole, like, you're an NFL quarterback, you should be doing better. Because, like, ultimately, Justin Fields can only do so much. The play calling, to be fair, has been really bad. They have explosive backs. They have Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson. I don't think they have Tyler Conklin anymore. I don't know who they drafted that Mason Taylor guy, right? Supposedly he was pretty good in terms of fantasy as well. But yeah, getting sacked 9 times, having 9 completions, very piss poor. But to be fair, Broncos defense is really good. So I don't put too much blame on Justin Fields, but I do think that Aaron Glenn needs to be on his way out. He's not on I don't think he's on the hottest seat right now. Because like I said, I think the Jets have kind of come to terms that they're not good. And they're probably very far away from being good. It's not like, oh, they just need a quarterback. They just need this. They just need that. No. The Jets need a new head coach. They need a new offensive coordinator. They need a new defensive coordinator. They need new defensive players. They need a new O-line. They just got to clear house and start over. Hit the reset button. Second on my list, third was Aaron Glenn. Second on the hot seat is Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel lost today against the Chargers. They were up, I believe they were up 1 heading into the last 2 minutes. They gave up a very big play to Ladd McConkey. McConkey went like 60 yards to put this team into field goal range. The Chargers kind of ran the ball down until the Dolphins ran out of timeouts. And they ended up winning the game, kicking the field goal from Cameron Dicker, the most accurate kicker in the game. But I think same rule kind of applies to Mike McDaniel, where the players don't buy into what he's selling. You see it a lot. You saw it a lot with Tyreek Hill. You're now seeing with Jalen Waddle, Tua. I mean, these guys, they're done. They're over. They're like, hey, man, you're a super good play caller. But in terms of leading a team, you're not that guy, right? And like I said, I think for me, that's the number one telltale sign that your players are over you. They're sending a message to the front office saying, we don't trust this guy. Because I'm a Rams fan. I have never seen any player kind of judge Sean McVay on any of his play calls anytime something bad happens. Like last week, for instance, when he had a bad play call he needed a 4th and 1 to convert the first down. He made a bad play call. He came out and said, hey, you know what? That's on me. That's a bad play call for me. And other players said, hey, you know what? That was Sean's call. We're going to do whatever Sean says. And he took the blame for that. But it wasn't all his fault. We needed to do better as well. We had to block better. We had to make space for our guy to get the first down. Very unfortunate loss. But like I said, there's never any like, Sean, what the hell are you doing type of vibes from his players. Are always backing him. He's always backing them. He puts every single blame on his shoulders. And these guys are not doing that. Tua's talking here about
I think it starts with the leadership.
he's talking about leadership and not having those guys not having discipline. I'm assuming he's talking about Mike McDaniel, talking about how player-only meetings or player online meetings, it's not mandatory for you to show up. So it's like, all right, bro, you can go do whatever the hell you want. And then if we have a meeting on this day, you don't have to show up. So when it comes to football day, when it comes to Sunday, Thursday, Monday, whatever day you're playing on, not everybody's on the same page. Not everybody understands what those meetings, what's going on within those meetings. And it's just super unfortunate. And like I said, it's just a telltale sign of your guys don't back you. Your guys don't want to play for you. They don't want to fight. And that's for me, Mike McDaniel got on his way out. Last but not least, number one hot seat, John Harbaugh. I've seen enough of John Harbaugh of throwing games away or even just making wrong decisions at the wrong time. Today they played against the Rams. They scored 3 points. Last week they played against the Texans. They scored 10 points. Obviously, Lamar Jackson is injured. He's a big focal point within that offense. But they were at the 1 yard line. First down at the 1 yard line. And they attempted a tush push 3 times with a tight end. While having Derrick Henry in your backfield, the guy had 100 and something yards today rushing. All you had to do was hand the ball off to him and watch him run in. And this is coming from a Rams fan. I was looking at that game. I was looking at that play like, bro, what are you doing? Just give the ball to Derrick Henry. You have Derrick Henry. And this wasn't like this wasn't a situation like it was with Seattle and Marshawn Lynch. This is different. This is a first down, second down, third down. And you're at the 1 yard line and you're trying to tush push and you got stopped 3 times, and then at the 4th time they eventually gave it to Derrick Henry behind the line of scrimmage. They get tackled for a loss, and it was just so interesting. It was so weird to watch. I think everybody was just had their head in their hands talking about like, bro, how are you messing this up so bad? It goes to show just that the Eagles are the only team that can attempt the tush push, can do the tush push. And I don't know, it was so weird. It was so interesting to watch John Harbaugh make that decision, especially because John Harbaugh knows how much Derrick Henry has been struggling for the past few weeks. He had the problem with the fumbles. He has no Lamar Jackson. Obviously, you want to get your offense going, and you decide to tush push with some tight ends. So it was super weird to watch. I mean, that was probably one of the times that I was like, this is the dumbest thing I probably have ever seen in my life. Having Derrick Henry and you're tush pushing when you can't do it. Like, you try it once, okay, cool. It didn't work? Okay, let's go to Derrick Henry. No? We're going to tush push again. Okay, we didn't get nothing again? Let's do it again. It's like, bro, are you stupid? Like, what's the quote? Insanity's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And that dude's just, I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but that was awful. And then end of the game, I think it was, let's say, 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Ravens are down 14. The Rams had a chance to make it a 3-score game. They decided to go for it on fourth down because the kicker was so awful. Special teams was so bad. But neither here nor there. Last 5 minutes, Tyler Huntley comes in, and Tyler Huntley absolutely shredded the Rams defense. And I don't want to say it was garbage time because it really wasn't. The game was still pretty much wide open. The Ravens could have still gone and scored, made it a 10-17 game, made an onside kick, 10-17, and then you have the ball back. But Tyler Huntley offering so much more versatility with his legs. I thought he played pretty well. I would assume that Tyler Huntley gets to start next week. He looked very good. So yeah, I think him not playing the right players and him just kind of giving up sometimes is super interesting. I think you see it a lot in like the playoff games that Lamar Jackson has lost when they're like at the 4th and 1 and they just need 1 yard and they don't get it. He has an interesting play call. I think the most like nicest way to put it for John Harbaugh is that he has interesting calls, right? I think if you go look at, like I said, their playoff games where they lost, he had an interesting call on 4th and 1 at the goal line. I don't know, it's super weird. I think they had so many more opportunities to win games than John Harbaugh kind of puts them in positions to lose. He likes to do well and then just throw the game away in crunch time. But like I said, they scored 10 points last week against Houston at home. They scored 3 points again today against the Rams. For me, he's the coach with on the hottest seat right now. I just think that, like I said, Lamar Jackson is out, but the offense looks awful. I think this was a very winnable game for them. The Rams had a very big issue with their kicker. The game was still within reach, and he kind of didn't do anything differently. The Rams forced a lot of turnovers. I don't know. It was super interesting game plan. But that's it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think about John Harbaugh, Mike McDaniel, and Aaron Glenn. If they should be fired or should they be given another chance. If you guys did enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.